To the weekly stream with Gennye, Lion, Rainbow, and the Zon. So I'm just gonna wait for some people to jump on before we dive into the topic. Just checking it's working here. It seems to be working. Okay, cool. Right. So welcome. This is actually the last stream I'm gonna do this year. So I'm gonna make it special. For those who don't know me yet, I'm Gennye, Lion, Rainbow, and the Zon. I am a business coach for spiritual entrepreneurs, but I'm also a master healer and a channel. So I can see you're watching now. I'm also a master healer and a channel. So a lot of the work that I do is obviously I work with the deep inner work with my clients through deep inner work, light body activations and rewiring the subconscious, etc. And then also with the business side of things, I help my clients in Connect the Soul Club, which is a membership for spiritual entrepreneurs to get their business online. So welcome. How to step up into your business 2024. Say hello if you can hear me and see me okay. Yeah, say hello if you can see me here okay. Because then I know that you're there. There's some people there. Okay, I can't see any comments right now. I'm trying this with the restream. It should be working okay. Okay, so welcome everyone. If we haven't known each other for very long, welcome into my world. If we have been friends and if you're my clients and you've been following me for a while, I'm so glad that you're here and that you continue showing up here together with me. So let's talk a little bit about 2024. I did a stream, was it last week, about the predictions. I think it was last week, yeah, about 2024. And I'm not going to go into lots of predictions this live. It's more about how we really want to show up in the online space in 2024 to actually A, make a difference, B, making success, not like banging our heads against the wall. And 3, also liberate ourselves, because the online space over the past, let's say the past few years, has gone through some real emotional ups and downs, It started up with a golden rush era where everyone was like, yeah, let's get online, make millions. And then all of a sudden, people had investment trauma. I call it investment trauma. And they had, experiences where it didn't feel like they were authentically met. I'm not talking about everyone here. I'm just giving a very sort of broad overview. And people have now become more cautious. And it's like energetically, people still want the help, but they're more conscious about where they invest and where they go to get this help. And becoming more, I suppose, discerning with the marketing. And this is why, the marketing should be so on date, if you see what I mean. Like old things that doesn't work anymore, we must stop using. And then we got to bring in the new ideas and the new ways of authentically, which is what I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to share there's 5 things I'm going to share with you that you can start implementing and that you can start using in 2024, and it's going to work, I promise you. So my sort of message today is it's not about stopping feeling overwhelmed, and take advice from those who are here for the long run and who have staying power. So I feel that's, and I'll say the staying power, but I feel that is one of the biggest things that we all have to adapt and embody, is the staying power. Because I said in a post not so long ago as well, I said something like, entrepreneurs get started where most people have actually stopped, like where they stop. Yeah, that just goes to show that the entrepreneurial mindset and passion is sort of unwavering. Like we just have to adapt into that. So I can also see that there's a comment there, so we can see Hi, Rachel. Yes, you can see me, and okay, great. I just wanted to see that that's working. Okay, cool. Welcome. So let's go through these 5 steps now. I also feel that being a spiritual entrepreneur, I'm not going to say this in this way now, but like, look, your work is needed more than ever. It sounds a bit sort of cheesy, but it's true. Your work is needed more than ever, because all of the world, so whether you are going to work with this specific client or that specific client there, the world is awakening, the world is cleansing, healing, upgrading, raising in awareness and consciousness, healing, old paradigm patterns and all the old stuff is coming out, which needs support, guidance, healing, holding, which means that spiritual entrepreneurs and people who are in the coaching space is going to be more needed than ever, right? So, and there is this piece that you really have to remember. There is this very unique spot for you, like your sweet spot, that is meant for you. Meaning you're not going to be one of many the same. There's only one of you, and your uniqueness really matters. All right. And it's about really being able to home in and own that and stay in energetic sovereignty, so that we are not cookie cutter copying someone else's stuff, so that we are not trying to copy because we can't find our own authentic voice. And that takes a bit of time. So you probably hear this: find your own authentic voice, find your own authentic this. And that is so true. But often that piece comes from learning the fundamentals really thoroughly. So it's almost like learning the marketing and the business fundamentals. And by the way, if you haven't seen, I need to say this, guys, if you haven't seen yet, I'm just going to find this here and there. I just want to say this now in case you're jumping off in a moment. We have SoulFire starting in January, which is a marketing and business program. It's a 4-week program, and it's only priced at £111, which is like a ridiculous price. But it's a really good kickstart to get everything. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more at the end of the live. But I just want to say that if you're interested in what I'm saying, and if you're really keen to do you authentically, SoulFire is an amazing start. So just message me for the details, or hang on into the end and I'll give you more details in the end. Okay. I just wanted to say that. So so this authentic voice that you really should just adapt and use all the time, that is really easy to do once you've learned the fundamentals, because you only get to really home in on all these specific core brand message, the specific values that you hold in your business and in your work. You only get to find out what they truly are by going through branding processes, by going through learning marketing positioning, by learning messaging, by learning how to produce amazing, awesome content, creating amazing programs and customer experiences. That comes through that work that you put in, because otherwise we could all just be winging it and go, oh yeah, here I am in my energy, I'm really great, right? Which is very nice, but it's not really going to convert the customers. Okay, so the authentic sort of voice and brand voice comes as you come through all the different types of trainings in different stages. So there's no real way around it. All right. So because you probably hear this, who has heard that online? Be authentically you. Who? Tell me in the comments. Have you seen that? Have you seen other people saying that? Yes, it's true, but it comes, that truth, that essence of your voice comes through after you've gone through the process of becoming a good marketeer and a good business owner, like in that sense. That makes sense? All right, so let's dive into these things. So there's 5 things. I've actually got a cheating list today to make sure I didn't miss anything. I've got the kids at home as well, so I'm like, Frankie, my daughter, please make sure you look after Johan in there while I do the live. She's being really good. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the real insights for success that we are talking about going forward into 2024 is being really unique and almost like allow that creation and that message that you want to say, the thing that you are connecting to your higher self, let that come through via your intuitive channel and then implement. Now, what happens is that many creatives and healers and coaches have this ability to go, oh, I'm getting so many ideas and it's so brilliant. Yeah. Have you had that? Tell me yes in the comment if you've had that. You're like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Now, the thing with that, if you don't have a proper strategy in place from getting all those downloads and then go bang, 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 implementing, if there's no real strategy that is going to take the customer by going, oh gosh, I really like her. What's the next step? Their natural step in their customer journey with you. If there's no strategy behind that, A lead magnet maybe that they want to start with, B, a smaller program or something else to get started, or like a session with you. And then next step will be a program, a membership, and the next step will be a high ticket. It's called a value ladder. And actually, I feel like the value ladder is more important than ever right now, because people are more cautious about investing unless there's going to be still people out there that are less fearless. They're less fearless and just go, yeah, I'll pay 10 grand, no problem. I convert, I trust you. Those people still exist, and you can find more of those probably on LinkedIn, especially if they've watched you, they've seen your content, they've seen the transformation with other clients, they trust, they've had a connection, as in like you talk to them and you really made them feel that way. They could be high decision makers and stuff like that. There are people out there that make those decisions, but most people take a little bit longer time, especially now when people are a bit more cautious and they want to buy smaller ticket before they buy bigger tickets, so they can sort of taste, the flavor, the flavor of you and your programs and the way you teach and everything else. So what happens is when you don't have a proper strategy in place and you're winging the creation, you get exhausted because there is no real strategy, no real masculine holding energy that takes the person and converts them into a long-term customer. Really what we want is the evangelists, the ones that stay forever, the ones that keep buying and keep buying and keep buying and keep buying because they just can't have enough of what you're creating because they love all of it. Yeah. So what happens is that when we don't have this strategy in place underneath, you get exhausted and start giving up in a bit because as energy workers as well, we need to be really clever with all the things that we're doing online so that we don't burn out. Okay, so if you think of me now, I'm doing this live stream on 5 places right now, and that means I don't have to do 5 live streams. I just have to do 1. Yeah, I could probably do it in 4 more places. I haven't got that far yet, but or for example, if you're creating, so that's one thing, showing up live. And then other things that could make you tired is having to write new content all the time. Other things that could make you tired is that you have to reinvent yourself all the time with new programs because there's not a customer journey, and you have to recruit new clients all the time that only stop at this one level and then don't go deeper with you. That takes a lot of effort. So it's like there has to be a strategy. So when I say that, what I mean is that it's got to be in this way. We're doing some of this in SoulFire, obviously in 4 weeks. I can't teach you everything I know, but SoulFire is a really good way to get started with me. If you haven't worked with me before, I have actually have a couple of returning clients that come back with it because they want to do it with me. But anyway, the next thing is to seek out intentionally what you're doing. So because there's so many strategies out there and there's so many things that you could potentially be doing, what's important here is to really tune in intuitively what feels like the next best strategy for you, because there's thousands of strategies. There's hundreds of places you can show up on in different ways and formats as well. And again, that's really overwhelming for an energy worker, because if you think, oh my God, I have to be on all the platforms, doing all the things, talking to all the people every day, it's quite, you can't keep up. You wouldn't be able to keep up. So you've got to be smart about how we do the content and everything. So that's also something I will cover in SoulFire. So, you really want to come in and join me in this program. So the next thing is to seeking out intentionally. So once we get the intuitive nudge of where we should be doing things in particular, we then seek out intentionally strategies and things how to implement those things. And that sometimes with a little bit of research or a little bit of like, you've got to go, okay, so how am I going to actually make that happen? Okay, let's figure that out. There's something called Google as well. But what I often do is like I work with my clients in my programs, and then I go, okay, well, here's your to-do list. Here's the things that you're going to go now and research and make happen. You've got to go and sit down and figure it out, basically. So they will then go and find a way of doing, if they're using different platform, I use Kajabi. If they're using different platform than me, they have to go and figure it out, because I can't show them that because I don't use it, perhaps, sort of thing, So there's that. So that's the first step. The second step is, and I say this all the time, and this is almost like, this comes hand in hand with not burning out, that comes hand in hand with being able to show up consistently. All right, by the way, consistently doesn't mean, it's not like this. Consistency is this. Non-consistency is that. And then maybe, but consistently is like this, yeah? So one day you might do nothing, but next day you do a couple of things, and then a couple of days later you do something else. It is consistent, right? But energetic alignment. So when I say that, I mean that every time I come into my office here and I'm creating either a piece of content, or I'm creating a live stream like I've done now, or I'm doing something or write an email, doing something, I make sure that I am on fire. Like if I'm tired, if too tired and feel like, demotivated, if I'm dehydrated, if I hadn't done my exercise today, if whatever, I'm not in a fit state to push this energetically connective piece out, because it will shine through. The energy and that doesn't mean that you're like a robot and you can't have bad days. I know how to correct my energy within 5 minutes. If I'm having I need the afternoon off, I will just take it off. I don't do anything. But what I mean here is if do I feel a little bit stressed, or do I feel a bit ungrounded, or do I feel a little bit like demotivated or something, or do I feel a little bit, I'm checking how I feel. And then I correct it to make sure I'm on fire. Because if I'm on fire, you are going to feel it. Even when I write a post. And when I'm talking to you like this, you'll feel it, that I'm grounded, I'm happy. I love talking to you about this topic. I can't wait to have you in SoulFire. Bang, 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 bang. It's all true, and it's all authentic, and it's all magnetic, because I'm really happy talking about this. I feel really grounded. I feel really aligned, right? So if I don't feel that way, I sort that out. So I use my own bioenergy clearing. I go in my hot tub in the evenings. I do my breath work. I'm not going to check my son My son is okay. I think he's right. Yeah. I do my breath work, or my breathing. Do meditations when I feel like it. I do my walk. I do my things to make sure that I am on fire. I eat well. I don't, I detox regularly as well, so that I am on fire. Right? Because if you don't feel good, it doesn't mean you're not allowed to feel good, but make sure that you feel good when you show up. And like, yeah, I'm here. Here I am. You're magnetic, right? So that was number 2. I don't want you to misinterpret that. I want you to think, right, how can I feel fully embodied in my power, in my passion, in my purpose, like bang, 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 in your own authentic way, and then deliver. You've got to figure that out, how you do that. But obviously, I help my clients with this. Mindset, energy work, like use these things, take these supplements, on endless. Like I will recommend to all my clients, to make sure that you can keep yourself in that way. Okay, the next one, number 3, is self-trust mastery. So how do we develop self-trust that is unwavering? And these are like the things that will take you through the ups and downs. This is what all the things I'm talking about here is equals staying power. Is staying power. Yeah. So self-trust mastery, how do we get self-trust? By turning the noise away. Because you can connect with your higher self and get the downloads and be connected in this way magically every day if you turn the noise down. So the way I feel it works good for energy workers is that if I coach them, because this is the thing you see, often when we are in coaching containers, it sounds bad, container, doesn't it? Coaching programs, we want to be expansive and flourish and like not be held back. So the way I coach my clients is that I might channel a piece for them, and we do this together as well, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I can really feel that. Then I check in with them and I said, do you feel this in your channel? Because if I feel it, doesn't mean it's right for them. Okay? We do this with everything. The strategies, how they're going to go about it, how, what the next step is in creating something in their business. That is how I coach, because I have been in coaching containers where I've had to follow a cookie cutter way, talk in a specific way, do content in a specific way that is meant to be persuasive or something like that. Does it work? No, it didn't work. So what I'm saying here is that I always give my clients the piece of whatever we're doing, working on, and then I go, now you check with your client, with your channel. Does that feel good? And I want you to walk away from this coaching session over there, like in your own space, connect with what feels good, and really take that next step of like bold action in your business, connected to your soul, connected to your channel. And then you come back to me and check, and we make sure that the strategy is tight, so that you not go away and do this winging thing that there's no strategy behind, and then you get tired and then you don't get the results, and then And that's how I coach. And that's how everyone should be coached, because you hold this self-mastery, this self-trust mastery within you. And this is how we co-create together. Okay? So you're meant to be in rooms with people that done more than you, that have gone further down the line than you, that have had more success in however that is formulated for you and for them than you, so that you can be in someone else's space that's done more, but at the same time, take those pieces that feels really aligned and trust yourself. Yeah. This is how we grow. This is how we create more success. This is how we actually do it. Yeah. So self-trust mastery. Now, so I would say that we all have that within us, the self-trust and connection to the intuition. And really, we do have this. But sometimes the brain kind of gets in the way, because you may have been given a strategy from a coach who's been a strategy from someone. And then you kind of maybe overthink it, or perhaps go away and go, okay, well, I better just do it that way, and then implement it, and then it didn't work. So no one's fault really, but it's kind of like you've got to sort of go, right, I love that strategy. How can I make that strategy really unique or potent for me? Yeah. So that's the self-mastery piece. And I think that's going forward in 2024 is like, we all have to tap into this uniqueness of ourselves with proper guidance. Yeah, because we can't just do it on our own when we don't, like, I've invested so much time and so much money in learning all the things, but then taking away what's worked for me, and then I'm teaching in a way that I hope will really work for you, because you have your unique way of doing it. It's almost like take all the information, take everything, embody everything, and then create your own uniqueness, unique methodology or unique pathway, unique program, right? And way of expressing yourself. When I say that as well, I just want it to come in, that came in now. So expressing yourself, if that means that I like doing live streams. So I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I'm going to do that. If somebody said, oh, live streams doesn't work anymore, I'd be like, hell no, they do. They will work, because I feel so excited when I speak on the live streams. So they will work for me. So it's almost like I'm not going to listen to someone else's, oh, that won't work, unless it's something really sort of, I suppose, really old, like it seems to be really outdated sort of thing, yeah? But no, I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, no, I'm doing live streams. I like doing them, so I'm going to do it. If somebody says to me, Facebook groups are completely dead, well, maybe the ones that you're in that you're not the owner of, but my Facebook group is not dead. I'm doing that. Like, can you see what I'm saying? So you've just got to trust yourself. This is self-trust. Listen and go, yeah, okay, yeah, that could potentially be the case, perhaps. But if it feels good for you, and if it creates results for you, and if it feels exciting for you, then you're meant to be doing it. Especially if it gives you results. Don't stop doing it. Okay, the next one is discipline and consistency. So when I say this, I said this earlier about the consistency up and down. I would like you to think of your business as an athlete will think about their body. Because an athlete who is training for the Olympics, or they're training for some other event, they will treat their body as a temple. And they will make sure that they do everything to enhance their performance so that they can win. I would like you to take the same mindset concept to your business. Can you treat your business like an athlete would treat their body? And when you kind of make that mindset shift and go, right, big knickers on here, big pants, yeah, then you will really step up. Like, you got to step up, right? Because if somebody came to the training for their marathon or the Olympics and went, I'm just going to have a couple of flapjacks before breakfast, and then I'll have breakfast, and then I might go for a little walk. I might do a run tomorrow. Actually, should I just do a run tomorrow instead? Like, honestly, that discipline, they won't even be a contestant of the Olympics, would they? They just won't be there. So you've got to say, right, okay, get your ass into gear, basically, and treat your business like an athlete's body. That's my advice. And if you don't do that, that's also fine. It's not like no one is judging you for not being an athlete in your business. But I'm saying that if you want to create a success in your own life and live your purpose, if you want to create a ripple across the globe with the fantastic work that you do, and if you want to help people, obviously, I mean, that's impacting people, athlete mindset, right? And the next one I want to say before we finish, because we're finished now, is global networking. And I feel the massive thing for 24 is also do it locally. Go and find people in your local area. If you're not in a local area that feels like aligned for the work that you do, maybe travel a little bit. So I'm going to do a couple of local events here where I live in Weybridge, and then I'm going to seek out a couple of events, like do stuff in London. So I'm not traveling very far, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'd really recommend to do that. And then keep networking online intentionally again. So not just anywhere willy-nilly, because that's going to really also make you feel quite tired. All right. That was all of the information and knowledge and wisdom and insights and things that I have learned and embodied so far, and what I feel intuitively is what we need to implement in 24. And I would love for you to join the SoulFire, which we start on the 1st of January. And it is 111 at the moment. It's like an absolute ridiculous price. You might be thinking, why is she doing it so cheap? Well, again, that was another download. They said to me, you've got to do it that way because you just do. You don't even know what that's going to take you like beyond that, but that's exactly what you've got to do, Gennye. So I was like, okay, so that's what we're doing. That price will go up to 555 on the 1st of January. So at the moment, it's 80% off with the early bird. So you want to jump in there. The things that I'm covering in there is, the first thing is really nailing your niche. And we're doing this with like a lot of channeling. So we like dropping in with the channeling, and we are actually channeling your niche. The second thing is to figure out what social media channels you should be on, because it's not possible to be on every single one. If you were a big brand, you will be, because you'll have people helping you with stuff like that. But in the beginning, when it's just you and maybe another team member or couple, you may not be able to be everywhere, right? The third one is to home in on all your offers, declutter, make sure your offers are watertight. And the fourth session is all about content and to create magnetic content. Okay, so this is like a little taster thing, right? You will learn a lot, but it's not going to fix your entire business for your entire life, but it will give you a really good kickstart to start your journey, like to kickstart your journey. I actually have some entrepreneurs who's been entrepreneurs for 2 or 3 years already, who's joined the program. So maybe this is just another way, of learning right now, because I'm blending the intuitive and the channeling with the marketing, which I think is really important. So I'll see you there, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I've got to go now, and then I'll see you in the new year, and I'll hopefully see you in SoulFire. Sending you lots of love and festive greetings. Have an amazing time over Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you soon.